My name is Summer.
My name is Catherine.
My name is Sabrina Masonette.
My name is Daisy Rodriguez.
My name is Cindy, and this is my story.
And this is my story.
My story.
Whatever type of bullying it is, you need to stand up for yourself.
Quirks and weird things are where the future is. It's like you're not gonna get anywhere by being like everybody else. You're just gonna blend into the crowd. And at this point, you want to stand out, be recognized for what makes you you.
When you're facing through a tough time, smile to the world. When someone's facing through a tough time, help them out. Maybe you guys can help each other.
My life isn't great. Yes, it's true. I do get everything and anything I want. I have parents who care for me, who put a roof over my head, food on the table, and clothes on my back. So I shouldn't think my life isn't great.
Because people are always getting hurt, are being made fun of by the words of these bullies, and it's a never-ending thing.
I just feel that I am not like the girls who I see walking around who's so skinny, who has perfect skin. I am not like them. And I always get so mad at myself for not being like them, for not being cool, for not being how they look. And that actually really brought me down. Not educationally, just mentally, it just made me feel so upset with myself.
And it will continue to be around, but the only way to stop it is to ignore it and walk away.
But I guess when I was in around 5th grade is when I started not liking school. I always liked school, you know, my friends were there. I was doing well in school. I was great student of the month all the time. But around 5th grade, I would just not want to go to school. Like, my mind was not there. I was kind of scared. I felt like I didn't belong there. I don't know. I just felt really weird going to school. I feel like there's always like a time in your life where you're gonna feel awkward and you're gonna be scared if that you're different, and that time usually comes in like middle school, high school, and it really matters where you are, like who you're with at that time. Unfortunately, I was with some very very negative people who saw like differences as flaws, but the truth is they're not. Being different is so great, because that's what makes society function better. It's when you're different that you have like innovations.
Bullies are never gonna stop. They're gonna continue. But you're worth more than that. You're important. You were brought to this world because you're important. God has a plan for you all. Your happiness may not happen now, but it's gonna happen in the future.
Teens need support and motivation, not judgment and harsh words. As an 18-year-old, I should know. With me, I'm very sensitive, maybe oversensitive, but that's who I am.
I hit puberty in 5th grade. Like, I started getting so many pimples. Like, I was so like to me, I was so unattractive because I started getting fat a little bit. I started getting a bunch of pimples, and I was just really like insecure about myself in the 5th grade. And I think maybe that's a reason why these kids would look at me weird or treat me a different way. You know, I didn't have like the most expensive shoes. I didn't have the latest fashion, or like I wasn't up with the latest fashion. And you know, and this was 5th grade, you know. I'm supposed to be just living life, enjoying my 5th grade, my last elementary school grade before I go to middle school, and it wasn't going to plan.
Especially when you have beautiful friends who are so pretty and they're skinny and they have flawless skin, you feel like you're the outsider who is so ugly and you're just fat. Like, for me, they always tell me, you're pretty, you're amazing, you're the best friend I've always had. But that just makes me even more angry at myself and just gives me mental depression just by them lying to my face. I'd rather want a best friend who told me, yeah, you don't look good today. Because that's how I know they care. They care about how I look. Yeah, but that didn't work. That does not work at all. That actually brought my depression worse.
I have a best friend that used to tell me she was bullied. And she would tell me all the things they would say to her. And I think she cried to me before about it. But she would always be down, and I always try to bring her back up, like just ignore it, forget about it. We're gonna leave this school and you're gonna move on, you're gonna find more friends, because the bullies are the ones that are down. They're the one that's trying to bring the whole world down with them, but they're nothing. You're more important than that. And I always tell my best friend that. I used to tell her all that.
For example, when I would find a really cool rock, I would keep it in my backpack and take it home, polish it, even divide it into classify them according to what type of rock they are, or the kind of mineral it is, or whatever. I don't know, I was nerdy, but if anyone would see me, they'd just be like, oh wow, she likes to lug rocks around in your backpack, and then, or she likes to lug rocks around in her backpack, and then it will become a running joke, and then at some point, yeah, it's funny, it's okay, yeah, haha, I have rocks in my backpack, but come on, at some point it gets to you. It's is what I'm doing so weird that it's not acceptable?
I'm a teen. We build defense mechanisms to protect ourselves, our heart, and our feelings. No matter if it's our parents trying to give us constructive criticism, quote unquote, we're gonna take it into offense. We build outside support systems because we know our peers go through the same things that we do. That is why friendship is so valuable to me.
Starting 6th grade, it was cool. I met my best friend. It was just the beginning of it. I was having a blast, and then it just went downhill in the middle of 6th grade. All I remember is just crying all the time, just crying and hating myself. I just had to live with it. Everybody gets acne, everyone gets pimples. It's a normal thing. But these kids didn't think of it as normal because they had perfectly clear skin. They would call me multiple names. 2 of them I still remember. Pizza face, because my face was always oily and my pimples were super red and very noticeable. And they were all over my face. And another one they called me was, connect the dots. This boy, he was my friend, but he would just play around saying, I can connect the dots with your face. And since he said that, everybody else started saying it. And it was just a chain reaction of people saying, look, you can connect the dots with her face. And back then I didn't have that much confidence. I would let them call me those names and just laugh it off with them. But inside, it was killing me. I was hurting so bad. I would come home and I would cry my eyes out. And I would cry my eyes out in the bathroom or locked away in my room because I was so embarrassed that I was so ugly.
I don't think I ever got bullied, and if I did, I always ignored it. I always pushed it away because I didn't care. I was like, who are you? I'm way up here and you're down there. You're trying to put me down, and I'm all the way up here. I have my family and I don't need them.
I never felt like I fit in. I never felt pretty. I never felt like I was wanted all of this. But now, looking back at it, I was really stupid. To believe everything that I said to myself. Everything that
I get a lot of neglect at home. A lot. No matter if I have like new clothes, new makeup, a new phone, that's just like, to me, charity being thrown at me for all the neglect and the harsh words I've gotten in my 18 years of living.
Whether it be cyber or physical, I don't know, whatever type of bullying it is, you need to stand up for yourself. I'm not saying don't be the bully, don't be like the bully and fight back or bully them, but you need to stand up for yourself, which is the most important thing. Your goal isn't to make the bully look bad, to make the bully feel what you feel.
my sister, she always reminds me, don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to what anyone says. My mom says that too. My cousin says that. Everyone says that. But I can't help myself. I still do it. I still say all these bad things about me. But, you know, it's good to have that one person that's always there. That's my sister. And she's really helped me through a lot of tough times.
Pre-teen age, everybody was like rocking the Jordans, and so I told my dad, and we didn't have that much money, so I told him, like, for my birthday, I don't want anything, no party, I just want a pair of sneakers, a pair of Jordans, you know, so I can match with everybody else. And I got it. And I got it in 5th grade, and I wore it through 6th, 7th, and 8th. And those are honestly the most expensive Jordans ever, and I obviously didn't want another pair because it's so expensive. And the fact that I would repeat that sneaker every day, I would get bullied for it. There'd be boys saying, wow, she can't afford any other pairs of shoes because she's wearing the same things all the time. She doesn't have like money because she wears the same clothes all the time.
She gave me advice onto how to run the world, like it's yours, to how to be brave, walk the streets, be safe, like how to make friends, how to not get in trouble. She taught me all of this, and she's been teaching me, but like I just realized how those words are now making sense, or now I'm taking it in, and now my brain is just using all those negative words, turning them to positive words.
I self-harmed in 9th grade because I literally felt so alone. And I know my parents are like my best friends, but I didn't have the courage to tell them, oh, I was getting bullied. Because I know for a fact they would march down to the school and just yell at them, and I didn't want the whole fuss or the whole thing happening because it was already so overwhelming with the whole bullying thing. I didn't want to get anyone else involved. So I would just keep it to myself, and that was the worst mistake. Like, that was the worst mistake I did.
It is quite hard to fit in when you have a different personality. Like, if you're an extrovert, odds are you're gonna fit in, and even if you don't fit in, people look up to extroverts as the bearers of social norms. Like, if an extrovert does something, that's the way it is now. Like, if an extrovert starts wearing glasses for fashion, it's a fashion, but if an introvert does it, it's attention seeking. So there's like contextual supports as well for things like bullying.
When I started high school, I knew it was gonna be hard because I had such a hard time in my preteens, and now that I'm a teenager and going in high school, I know it was gonna be hard.
Go to your family, go to your friends, find someone that is positive and not negative, because the ones that are positive is gonna keep you positive, and you're not gonna think about the negative, and you're always gonna be happy.
If you're facing through a really tough time and you feel like everything is collapsing on you, you feel like you're depressed and no one's listening to you, you just want to kill yourself, don't do it. Do not kill yourself. I've had thoughts about those, but I never did it. If you find that one person that makes you live, that makes you want to live. if it's what you believe, if it's God, if it's yourself, if it's your parents, if it's your sister, if your best friend, anyone, hold on to that one person. That one person, just hold them really tight. Do not let go, because of them, you're gonna want to start living. You're gonna want to keep your life. Ending a life is tragic. Don't do it, please.
An important thing to think about when talking about bullying is that it happens to everybody. And I realized this quite late. An important thing to think about in the context of bullying is that bullies don't really know that they're bullying people. Either it's that they don't realize the pain that they inflict upon people is really pain, because obviously they don't know how you're gonna feel. Like, I confronted a bully in like the 5th grade, and when I told him, I was like, do you know how bad you made me feel? And he was like, I thought we were just friends. Like, that's how friends are to me. Turns out he had a very bad life at home, and that's what he thought people who cared about each other did.
You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. No makeup can ever change the fact that you are beautiful. No clothes. No, don't do surgery just to change the way you are. You're perfect, even though you're imperfect.
Get to know somebody, you might like them. Just because they wear the same shoes every day, or have a bunch of acne, or is overweight, you don't have to treat them any different. They're exactly like you. They're human.
It made me the creative person I am today. It made me a writer. It made me an artist. It made me so good in the creative fields that other people who just stuck to what everyone else was doing, which was math and science, they're just all doctors and lawyers, but I'm a creator. And that's important. Because I do get it, it's like, they're like basic necessities of life. And that's no shame for people who are doctors and lawyers or science kids, but the thing is, creativity is just as important.
Love yourself. And know that being, like I said a million times, being different is great. You don't have to change yourself. Don't change yourself to please other people. Don't change yourself at all.
A piece of advice that I would give myself back in the 2nd grade would be to stand up for yourself for the summer, because quite obviously no one did it for me, no one stood up for me, so you have to do it for yourself. And it's hard. It's extremely hard to like stand against someone and say, stop doing that, or can you not see what's happening here? But once you do, their eyes will be open.
If you fall down, you could easily get back up. It's gonna take a long time, but trust me, you will. No matter how long it could take. If it's 5 years, just stay strong, and I promise you, you're gonna get through this. Everyone gets through it. You can't do anything about the bad things in life. You can't do it. That's just how it works. But you have to stay strong and fight through it, because you know, your life is the best thing that you could ever have.
Piece of advice that I would have for my high school and middle school self is stick with what you're doing. Do what you do. Like all that weird stuff that you were into, sewing, collecting rocks, all those weird hairstyles, they really come in handy in the future, because it made me the creative person I am today.
Get help. But I know it's not much, but it's always good to talk to someone and tell them what's happening.
You can't change who you are. You have to just face it yourself. And that's what it is. And because of that, I am running this world. This is my world now. My body, my world. I don't care what anybody else says, really.
Just love yourself.
My name is Daisy Rodriguez, and this is my story.